we got today. Let's just do this real quick. That's it. Ooh, yeah. If you want to buy ammo, now is the perfect time to do it. Prices are so cheap. We got this Black Pack deal from Federal, and I'm going to be sending in a rebate. And it was like, I don't know what they were. It was under $100, 300 rounds. Pretty cool deal. I just don't think they can keep up with. People aren't buying guns and ammo like they were a couple of years ago. Also picked up a couple of the boxes of this stuff right here. If you are ever looking for the best self-defense round out there, give this a look. It doesn't have any real high-tech, pins or anything like that in there, but it's brass, or it's nickel-cased, nickel-coated brass, so it's real smooth, real high-end stuff. If you don't believe me, go to a website called Lucky Gunner. He has a YouTube channel as well, and they have this lab, and go look at the results of the Winchester Ranger 40 I use 165 grain. You can go 180 if you want, but my guns, I have a short barrel Glock 27, and so I opt for the lower grain just to get a little more velocity. So pretty nice stuff if you can find it. Hard to find this stuff. About $35 a box. They come in boxes of 50. And so usually you get it in town for about $50 a box, so a buck around. But good quality stuff. You don't need to use much of it. Always have a couple boxes on hand. Yeah, I decided to pull the cover off of the old Kodiak here, just to kind of keep going on my sort of inspection of this thing. And I was going to look at this. The main reason I pulled this off was to look at this drive belt, the V belt, and actually, I think this is stock, and to my surprise, it looks completely fine. I mean, it's like brand new. So I'm not even gonna mess with that. The clutch is a little bit dirty. There's a little bit of grease that kind of escapes away. That you're supposed to pack it with grease, and it kind of blows out of there a little bit. So I'm gonna wipe that off probably, and just kind of blow this thing out and get it cleaned up. Blow this cover out. But something happened that you guys might be. Let me move this out of the way so you don't know what it is. So here's what happened. You might be interested in this, and this is kind of a good reason to go ahead and take a look at your stuff every now and then, and do a little bit of maintenance on your equipment, because this was kind of unexpected. So I pulled this cover off, pulled that off of there, and everything looked pretty good. I was able to glance at the belt, and all of a sudden this couple of chunks of something, sort of, I kind of cleaned them up so you'll see it a little bit different now, but a couple of chunks of something fell out on the ground, and I was looking at these things, and they're really dirty, and you can tell that, let's see if I can show you here up close, you can tell that it had been kind of ground by the clutch in there, the belt or something had burned against it. And then I cleaned them off, and sure enough, you can see right here, it's kind of a clear plastic. And so I'm like, what is this thing? Is it something that fell off the motor or the clutch, or is it one of those plastic roller things that I don't know, weights or something in there? That I had no idea what this was. But it's not a good thing to be floating around in the under the clutch cover. Certainly, I mean, it doesn't look good. I don't know what broke off. So I sort of did some. I'll see if I can kind of put this I don't think I can put this together, but anyways, I sort of started assembling this thing and kind of figuring out where these pieces went. There's probably another piece in here somewhere. I might dig around a little bit more and look for it, but I think I figured out, actually I know I figured out what it is, and you will never believe this. Let's see here, you can see that I did notice something on here that was like well, you can see right there, it's like a heat staked imprint right there. I know what that is. So I kind of compared it up, and I said, if that's what I think it is, there's going to be another part still in there. And let me show you exactly what it is. Okay, so kind of bad lighting here, but here's what it is. And I was like, I recognize exactly what that is after I started kind of putting it together. It's this drain plug. And what that is when, if you get this thing submerged or soaked with water up under the battery compartment, you can, of course, just unclip this. I already have it kind of unclipped, but I'll show you. You can take this off. Come on, focus. And, of course, you can drain it out. So look at right there. That's clear. There's a heat-staked area. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's what that is, then there must be another part to this, which is this metal clip. I hope it's not in there. So what did I do? I went over here and I quickly disconnected it. Down here, of course, it's hard to see, but that snorkel that goes up, it goes right into the clutch area, the flywheel, a little wheel area, and I just took out the little seal in there and still unhooked and shook it around, and sure enough, this fell out into my hand, right? Oh, where did it go? Here it is, right here. The clip. The clip fell out right in my hand. So that was in there, getting ready to fall into the V-belt and clutch area. Look at that. There's two. And that's what this plastic piece is right there. So somewhere in there, in this motor, there's another piece to it. There's probably a couple of pieces that fell out. But somewhere in this motor, there's probably a little bit more, maybe up in that tube, or maybe it already kind of melted out of there. But I'm going to blow it out and kind of inspect it and see if I can find something else. But I have no idea why that's in there. The only way that could be in there was from the factory, because that snorkel goes all the way up and almost hugs this fender. Like, you'd have to like push it in there and jam. I mean, I don't even think there's room to do that. So what I think happened was, at the factory, I think what they did was they were putting this fender on, or the back half of this plastic on, and they had mounted this already to it. And I think what they did is they just started mounting it, and this probably fell off, or that one down there probably fell off into that snorkel, and then sat there for, the last, 10 years, 15 years, 14 years, something like that. Sat there, and eventually it bounced its way in there and came apart and got ground up in there. Would it have destroyed it with getting that metal thing in there? Probably not. It probably wouldn't have, but it is really close to a lot of stuff that's moving. And if it got into this clutch area, for instance, maybe it going over a bump, it bounced in there. That could happen. And that'd be really bad. That'd actually be really bad. It would just mess all those things up in there, and you'd hear all sorts of racket. So yeah, that's what happened. That's a weird thing from the factory. I think somebody messed up on the assembly of this thing, and it just fell in there. So that's kind of crazy. I didn't expect to see that in there. So good reason to periodically inspect your equipment to see if the factory screwed something up. Next project we're going to get into probably this weekend, if I end up having enough time and feeling a little better. Man, we've been hit with all sorts of stuff this year. Ellie's first year of school, preschool, and man, we're bringing home everything. So if we all start feeling better this weekend, we got a trip planned up to go north again for Christmas this year. So what I've been wanting to do for the last couple of years and just haven't gotten around to it is sort of get this old trunk shipping box set up for a little toy box for the cabin for the kids, and something we can put our coffee on and stuff in front of the couch. So the way this was done was the crate was opened up on the wrong side, and so the logo and everything is upside down. That's always bugged me. So what I think I'm going to do, if it doesn't look like it's going to destroy anything, is I'm going to flip this thing over, and I'm going to pull the bottom of it off and put that on this side, and then I'm going to build kind of a similar style lid for it. The one that was on there was this junky plywood thing, and it just wasn't worth saving, and it was all messed up, and 6 layers of paint on it, and it was just really bad. So I've stripped off a lot of the paint a couple of years ago and exposed this logo, and I was going to try to get this all cleaned up and make it all kind of original. What I'm going to end up doing is sort of finishing up you know, sanding the gunk out of this thing a little bit and kind of cleaning it up a little bit more. It's pretty darn good. I did this, I just used paint stripper on this a couple of years ago because I had so much paint on it. So I'm gonna you know, paint this thing over again with some nice white or gray paint. And then we'll have a nice toy box for the kids to put their, you know, little special toys in there when they go to the cabin. Plus we'll have some place to put coffee on in the mornings and you know, kick our feet up on a little bit of a kind of a, you know, coffee table sort of deal, kind of dual purpose. So I've been wanting to do this for years, and I just haven't got this project done. I'm tired of having it in the garage. I want to get it over with. But check out how cool that is. It's this old crate, and I looked this company up because I kind of nerd out about this history stuff. But these were little rollers, I believe, for I think it was for windows that move up and down. They have the little cable spring, you know, cable tension rollers that keep windows from falling down when you open them. So old style stuff. And you'll see these a lot in old houses and stuff. So this must have been some sort of shipping crate. But what a cool crate that is. So I'm going to build a top for this that's kind of in the same, you know, rustic style where you got planks, and then I'll put a cross piece and you know, put some hinges on it. So it should be pretty cool. A cool little deal, and hopefully I can get this thing done this weekend, and then we can bring it up next, you know, when we go up there. So yeah, that's kind of the project. We're sort of, you know, kind of got a lot of other things going on, so hopefully I can get, but look at how nice that is. It's got some nice dimension. Once you get it all painted up, it's going to be really, really cool. Yeah, see, they're called sash pulleys, and I uncovered that, but unfortunately I don't think I can use this green paint. I think it just looks it's just too gone. It didn't come out as good as I thought, especially on this side. It's kind of messed up, but it was cool to kind of uncover that history. You'll see this logo when I paint over it. I saw it before I took the paint off. I believe it just was a little bit, you know, makes like a nice indentation. So yeah, pretty cool shipping crate, and be a nice little antique toy box for the girls when they go up there. We'll put some special things in there for them. So that'll be a fun little project. It also came with, somebody put some, I don't know if those were factory or done like that, but it has these handles that are, I'm going to flip the, you know, put them on the right side. I think something you can pick it up and move it around with. So that should be it. Yeah, not a whole lot else going on. Going to be getting packed up and ready to go, so I got to button this thing back up, and then I got to start putting together. Oh, there's a shovel that I dug out. I got to put together my winter survival car kit for our road trip. So there's quite a bit that goes into that, and I'll show you that when I start putting that together this weekend. That's about it for now, guys. We've just been working, getting things squared away, getting things ready to go. Getting over our like 5th, 16th cold this season. Man, these kids are bringing in some crazy stuff. Ellie's first year of preschool was just a few months ago, and we're getting used to all the new germs. What they say is true. So getting better, you know, not too bad now, but everybody's been sort of coughing again, and man, just trying to keep everybody. It's been a rough last couple months for sicknesses. Man, oh man, never had to deal with this before. So appreciate your guys' prayers on that, and but we're gonna keep at it. We're gonna keep going. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Hope you guys are having a good week. Talk to you later.